I'm Teresa, and I am an old lady for Bernie. In today's video, I'd like to address the latest scandal about Bernie Sanders, and that is that he hasn't released his tax returns. Now, this is a faux scandal because in 2015, he released a transcript of his 2014 tax return. In digging into that return, the following things were found. First of all, his adjusted gross income was $205,000. The biggest bulk of this income consisted of his Social Security income and his salary from the U.S. Senate. There are a few other minor pieces of income, such as payment for a transcript of a speech that he gave and a pension from the mayor of Vermont, but that's about what his income was. Let's contrast that with Hillary. Her adjusted gross income was $27 million. A large percentage of that were the speaking fees for the speeches that she gave. She made over 100 times more income than Bernie does. Definitely in the 1%. A second part of the returns that I think is important to focus in on, and it's something that I look to when I evaluate a return, is what the charitable giving is. Now, I grew up in a household where we talked about tithing, and that is to give 10% of your income to charities. Well, did Hillary meet that threshold? Yes, she did. She gave over $3 million to charity, and that was over 10% of her income. By contrast, Bernie only gave about 5% of his income to charities, about $10,000. Now, on looking at this at face value, you would think that Hillary is the much more philanthropic candidate. However, when you dig into the detail of her return, you'll find out something a little different. Of that $3,022,700 in charitable giving, $3 million was paid to the Clinton Foundation. Now, the other piece of this that is, I think, really interesting is the fact that Hillary and I presume all the other candidates for president on the Republican side use professional tax preparers to prepare the return. Now, as a professional tax preparer, I understand who needs to go to a CPA to get their tax return prepared. Those people whose returns are complicated and whose incomes are high. Naturally, Hillary has a professional tax preparer. No doubt Cruz does, Kasich does, and certainly Donald Trump has a team of tax preparers that work on his return.
You know, we are not, to be very honest with you, you know who does our tax returns? My wife does our tax returns. We've been a little bit busy lately, so we will get out as much information as we can. There ain't going to be very much exciting in that. I get a salary from the United States Senate. There's not going to be anything new in it that people haven't seen for the last many years. But we will get it out as soon as we can.
Now, I've been a CPA for over 30 years, and I've been preparing tax returns since I was a teenager. I know a little bit about what tax season is like. And tax season is brutal. From February 15th to April 15th, a tax preparer generally puts in hundreds of hours of overtime, working often 60, 70, 80 hours a week. However, as I review the schedule of the candidates, particularly Bernie and Jane, I think that a tax preparer's tax season hours are easy compared to the brutality of the campaign schedule. So, Bernie, Jane, when you get home, go ahead, root around in the basement, find those tax returns, get them released. But really, as Bernie says, there's nothing to see here. And maybe, Bernie, you should wait to release the tax returns until Hillary releases her transcripts. We are still waiting for those. Be sure and subscribe for more videos about old ladies for Bernie.
This has been a Loki production.